Alright, here we go. Getting some gameplay in today with Red Blue Vivi. We got EB03 right around the corner, and I'm eager to get to know this deck. And here's the deck list that we're running today. Okay, we got a matchup against Red Blue Ace. So a battle of the Red Blue leaders, Vivi versus Ace. Let's choose, we'll go second, just to take second away from Ace. I think Vivi typically prefers to go first. We'll keep this opening hand. I do like having the Beckmans for board control. We can start with the Searcher. We'll let our opponents start off. They do a Garp Search. This should be a really good matchup. I think Ace is probably favored in this, but we'll see what we can do with the new Vivi and the new support. All right, our opponent does a search. Let's see. Okay, so they grab a Jozu. So we got to be cautious of that Jozu. Let's do a search ourselves. Oh, we'll grab our 5-cost Vivi. Very strong card in this deck. We'll be able to go wide on the board with this. And with that, we'll have to pass the turn. Okay, they play an Otama. They draw 2, trash 1. They trash one of their Whitebeard events. All right. And they swing in for 8. We'll have to take this first attack, and that's okay. All right, 4 Dawn turn here. Okay, nice draw to grab the Chopper. Let's go for the Chopper. And we'll just go ahead and pass the turn since we can't swing into their 6,000 power Ace leader. Okay, 5 Dawn turn. Okay, so no Yamato coming out. But they play an Atmos, so they're going to bounce our Chopper back to hand. Yeah, okay. Unfortunate there. They swing 6 at 5. Let's counter out with that Chopper. 2K counter. You're going to bounce it back to hand? All right, well, we're just going to block with it then. 6 Dawn turn for us now, and I imagine their Jozu's going to be their next play, huh? So, let's do this. So let's go with the Nami. We'll get to draw 1 card with Nami's effect, and then we'll activate leader ability. Give the Atmos negative 2,000. Doesn't really matter. Mostly we're just giving the Nami rush. We'll attach our last Dawn. We'll swing an 8K at lead. Poking 8 at 6, and our opponent takes that first life. There we go. All right, we'll go ahead and pass the turn now. Come on, where's my mouse? Okay, we'll go ahead and pass the turn. I gotta anticipate a Jozu's coming. We'll see if they go for Nami. Okay, so they go straight at our life. 5K coming in. I think we counter out with just a 1K here. Yeah, counter out with a 1K. If they play the Jozu and bounce our blocker, you know, a strong play, but then we still have our Nami on board. And if they bounce our Nami with the Jozu, we'll just block their next attack with Vivi and discard a character from hand. Yeah, so there's the Jozu. So what do they choose? Yeah, so they go for the Nami. They'll swing in here. And then here we can block. And then trash 1 card from hand. We'll trash one of the Namis since we have another one in hand anyways, and it has no counter. Beckman is probably the play here. Yeah, we'll give the Jozu negative 2,000 power just so we can play out our Ben Beckman and trash the Jozu. Do we want to swing in with this Vivi? I don't think so. I think we want to keep the Vivi as a blocker here. We'll do a top 5 search though. I think our best bet is to grab the Tony Chopper here as just another blocker or 2K counter option. And with that, we'll pass the turn. We'll pass the turn there. So maybe it would have been better to try to clear the Atmos off the board and then just be able to swing in with our Beckman. Okay, so our opponent plays a Rush Zoro, Rush character Zoro. If we have a character with 8,000 power or more, we don't right now. So they can't rush in right now. They swing 9,000 coming in. We'll block. Let's discard our other Nami. And if they swing with the Atmos... Oh, they're swinging at the Vivi. All right. Well, I'm going to 2K counter out of that. Protect the Vivi for sure. Just so strong to have those extra blockers. Okay. Now we got an interesting choice to make. I think the Shanks is going to be the move here, though. Yeah. KO the Zoro. Activate leader ability. Give the Atmos negative 2,000. Give our Shanks rush. If we had one more Dawn, that'd be nice to swing with the Vivi. but we'll swing at the Atmos with our Ben Beckman. Okay, we land the KO there. And we'll swing in 12k at lead. Their leader is an 8,000 power leader, though, because of that Zoro. Okay, looks like our opponent is going to counter out of here. So what was that? That's an interesting Distorted Future EB04 counter card. All right, so they counter out of that with an event and a 2k counter. We'll go ahead and pass the turn now. So we got a good battle going on against this red-blue ace. This is a good battle. We got a pretty strong board right now. Our opponent, I gotta anticipate, is gonna start getting their white beards, right? Take a little sip of my Trader Joe's cold brew. Okay, we see another Zoro come out. Interesting enough. So our opponent, I wonder if they just don't have a white beard in hand. We saw them ditch one of the white beard events right here. But they go for a Zoro, and they play an Izo, so they're doing a top 5 search. Oh, it says our opponent picked no cards to draw. They swing 9,000 in at our Ben Beckman. And I think we can counter out of this. No blocker. 2k and a 1k. Maybe we could have let our Ben Beckman go there. They swing in. We'll block. Ooh, tough. Yeah, we'll ditch the Ben Beckman since we don't have any 6,000 power characters. Oh, they have another attack with their Garp coming in, 4,000, and yeah, I suppose we'll counter out, protect our board, but now we're down to 1 card in hand. Uh-oh. Okay, we'll play the Nami this turn. We can actually start by playing the Nami, I think, because we get to draw 2. Ooh, we get our Kaido on the board. Okay. Start placing on top. Do we want to draw our Kaido next turn? I think so. So how do we do this right? We have to go Vivi first, and then the Kaido. I think that puts the Kaido, I'm pretty sure that puts the Kaido right on top. Kaido next turn will be a very strong draw. Let's start with swinging at the Garp. We'll go Vivi at Garp, 2k at 2k. They cycle a card with Izo. They let the Garp go. Very well. Since their leader is 8,000 power, I think I'm just going to give the Zoro negative 2,000. We'll give the Nami the ability to rush, but I don't think we're gonna end up rushing in with Nami. We'll swing 9 at 7 though. Swing 9 at 7 at the Zoro. Maybe we could have swung 11. Okay. You know what? In this case, I actually am going to swing with Nami. Let's go ahead and swing 9 at the Zoro. If we can clear this Zoro off the board, that's going to give him 1 less attacker next turn, which means we'll need 1 less blocker next turn, right? So in theory, that makes sense to me. 12k swinging at lead. We're going 12 at 8. We're putting a lot of pressure on our opponent. They're down to only 4 cards in hand. Okay, they take that life. They didn't have a Dawn attached to leader as well, so they don't get to draw an extra card. We'll go ahead and pass the turn with that. We have 1 blocker standing. I think we're in a pretty strong position right now. But with Ace, they can get those big body blockers on the board pretty quick and make it really challenging for us anytime. Okay, so we see a Yamato. Still no Whitebeard. Still no Whitebeard for our opponent. So I wonder if they feel like they just need to go wide on the board, get more bodies, or if they're just not drawing their Whitebeard, their new gates. If they're just not drawing their new gates. Here we go. 7 coming in at 6. Maybe we no. Here we go. We'll block with the Vivi. Yeah, we'll let the Vivi go. We need to clear open space anyway for our Kaido. So we get our Kaido. Perfect. Let's go 7 at lead. Yeah, counter out. We'll go 12 at lead. Yeah, so they block out of that. All right, now we're going to get the Kaido out. We get to draw 4 cards with Kaido. That's so sick. All right. That's why Vivi is such a fun deck. We have such cool cards to play in the late game. Kaido, and our opponent goes ahead and concedes. Our opponent concedes. We're going to swing in. We're going to rush in with the Kaido. And then we were just putting the pressure on our opponent at that point. GG's to our opponent. Super fun game. I'm loving this Vivi deck so much. Can't wait for EB03. Just hoping that prices aren't just going to make everyone go bankrupt that just wants to play competitively. But having a lot of fun. I do think after a couple weeks after EB03, once all the hype kind of settles and all the collector cards people are looking for get distributed, just the playable competitive cards, the Vivi leader, the new Nami cards coming out. I think the Vivi deck will be still pretty reasonably priced. I'm hoping so. Anyways, GG's to our opponent. A lot of fun. We'll be back with another one. Peace.